Your body has been warning you about high blood sugar for years, and you've been ignoring every single sign. Right now, while you're watching this video, something is happening inside your body that you cannot feel, cannot see, and cannot hear. But it is happening, and for millions of people over 60, it has been happening for years, quietly, silently, without a single obvious warning. Until one day, it isn't quiet anymore. Until one day, the damage is already done. We are talking about high blood sugar, and before any blood test, before any doctor's visit, before any diagnosis, your body has already been sending you signals, 9 of them. And today, I am going to show you every single one. According to the American Diabetes Association, more than 8 million Americans have diabetes right now and don't know it. In people over 60, nearly 1 in 3 adults either has diabetes or is already in the pre-diabetic range, meaning their blood sugar is elevated, damage is already occurring, and they feel, for the most part, completely fine. That is the most dangerous part, not the pain, the silence. Today, that silence ends. Let's get into the 9 signs. Sign number 1, you're thirsty all the time, and no amount of water seems to help. Not occasional thirst, not thirst after a salty meal. Persistent, relentless thirst that follows you through the day and wakes you at night. You drink a full glass of water. 20 minutes later, you're thirsty again. Most people blame the weather, their medications, or simply not drinking enough. But when thirst is persistent and unresponsive to drinking, your body is sending a very specific message. Here's what's actually happening. When blood sugar rises above normal, your kidneys work overtime to flush excess glucose from your bloodstream by pulling water from your body's tissues. This leaves your cells genuinely dehydrated, not because you haven't been drinking enough, but because your kidneys are actively pulling water out to deal with the sugar problem. Think of it like a drain left open. No matter how much water you pour in, the drain keeps pulling it out. A landmark study in diabetes care identified persistent thirst as one of the 3 cardinal early warning signs of elevated blood sugar. Daily habit: 2 full glasses of water every morning before anything else, and begin reducing added sugar today, not next week, today. Sign number 2, you're urinating far more than you used to. If you've been making more trips to the bathroom, especially at night, and this has become a regular pattern, pay close attention. Nocturia is extremely common in people over 60, and most chalk it up to an aging bladder, but it is also one of the most consistent early indicators of elevated blood sugar. When your kidneys flush excess glucose, they need large amounts of water to do it. The result is dramatically increased urine production day and night. Research published in the Journal of Urology found that treating the underlying blood sugar issue dramatically reduced nighttime urination in many patients. Daily habit: stop eating at least 3 hours before bedtime. Eliminate sugary drinks entirely. Sodas, juices, sweetened teas. The impact on your sleep can be dramatic within weeks. Sign number 3, you're tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Not normal tiredness, something deeper. A persistent, dragging exhaustion that lives inside you regardless of how much you sleep. You wake up tired. You feel tired by mid-morning after a full night's rest. Most people over 60 accept this as aging, but this specific fatigue, persistent, unexplained, unresponsive to rest, is something different. When blood sugar is chronically elevated, your cells gradually become resistant to insulin. Glucose builds up in the bloodstream but cannot enter the cells that need it for energy. The result is a profound paradox. You have more sugar in your blood than your body knows what to do with, and yet your cells are starving for fuel. Imagine a city with full warehouses on every street, but every delivery truck is broken. That's what insulin resistance does to your body's energy system. A comprehensive review in diabetes, obesity, and metabolism found that fatigue frequently predates a formal diabetes diagnosis by 1 to 3 years. Daily habit: a 20 to 30-minute walk every single day. This is the single most evidence-backed intervention for improving insulin sensitivity. Within 2 to 3 weeks, most people notice a meaningful improvement in energy. Start today. Sign number 4. Your vision has been blurry, especially in the morning. Blurry vision that comes and goes. Vision that seems worse in the morning and improves as the day progresses. Vision that fluctuates from day to day for no obvious reason. This pattern is a hallmark of blood sugar changes. When blood sugar rises, glucose enters the fluid surrounding the lens of your eye and changes its shape, which changes how it focuses light. The blurring tracks your blood sugar throughout the day. Blurry after waking, clearer by afternoon, blurry again after a high-carbohydrate meal. In early stages, this is reversible. But if elevated blood sugar persists for years, the damage stops being reversible. Diabetic retinopathy is the leading cause of new blindness in American adults. Daily habit: replace white bread, white rice, and white pasta with whole grain versions. This single swap dramatically reduces the post-meal blood sugar spikes that cause lens swelling and vision changes. Sign number 5. Cuts and bruises that take weeks to heal. A small cut that takes 3 weeks to close. A bruise that lingers for a month. When blood sugar is chronically elevated, your blood vessels narrow and stiffen, preventing oxygen and nutrients from reaching wounded tissue efficiently. At the same time, high blood sugar impairs white blood cell function. Your immune system's first responders become sluggish. Think of your healing system as an emergency response team. High blood sugar narrows the roads they travel and impairs the team members themselves. The response is slow. The wound sits open and vulnerable. The CDC reports that diabetic foot ulcers cause over 100,000 lower limb amputations in the United States every year. Every single one began as a small wound that didn't heal. Daily habit: inspect both feet every night before bed. Look between every toe. Any cut or blister that hasn't improved in 48 hours. Call your doctor, not next week. 48 hours. Sign number 6. You've been getting more infections than usual. Urinary tract infections, skin infections, gum problems that keep returning, respiratory infections that linger longer than they should. High blood sugar creates a glucose-rich environment that bacteria and fungi thrive in. They literally feed on the excess sugar your body cannot manage. At the same time, elevated blood sugar impairs white blood cell function, leaving your immune system fighting with reduced capacity against a pathogen-friendly environment. Research in the journal Infection found that people with uncontrolled blood sugar had infection rates nearly 3 times higher than those with well-managed glucose levels. Daily habit: 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in water before your 2 largest meals. Multiple studies confirm this meaningfully reduces post-meal blood sugar spikes. Add raw or lightly cooked garlic daily, one of the most potent natural antimicrobial compounds known to science. Sign number 7. Your hands and feet. Tingle, go numb, or feel like they're burning. This sign indicates that blood sugar has likely been elevated long enough to begin damaging your nervous system. Peripheral neuropathy affects nearly 50% of people with diabetes and almost always begins in the hands and feet. Your nerves are protected by a fatty sheath called myelin. When blood sugar stays elevated, glucose gradually degrades this sheath through a process called glycation. Signals become distorted. You feel tingling, numbness, pins and needles, or in more advanced cases, a burning pain worst at night. That loss of sensation is particularly dangerous. You cannot feel a cut developing on your foot. You cannot feel the shoe that's rubbing. Small injuries become serious wounds before you ever know they're there. A study in the New England Journal of Medicine found that painful neuropathy is consistently misdiagnosed as arthritis or joint pain for an average of 2 years. Daily habit: 5 minutes of gentle foot and ankle exercises every morning before getting out of bed. Every evening, a gentle 3-minute foot massage. Your nerve tissue will thank you. Sign number 8. You're unusually hungry, even shortly after eating. You eat a full meal. Within 30 minutes, you're genuinely hungry again. You snack constantly. You feel shaky and irritable when you haven't eaten recently. This isn't psychological, it's neurological. When you eat refined carbohydrates, blood sugar rises rapidly. Your pancreas overshoots its insulin response. Blood sugar crashes. Your brain interprets this crash as an emergency and sends urgent hunger signals, even though you've just eaten. Research from Harvard Medical School found that high-refined carbohydrate diets produce significantly greater hunger than whole food diets, even at identical calorie counts, precisely because of these blood sugar swings. Daily habit: protein and fiber first at every meal, carbohydrates last and in smaller quantities. This sequence flattens the blood sugar spike, prevents the insulin overshoot, and eliminates crash-driven hunger. Most people notice dramatic improvement within 1 week. Sign number 9. Your skin has been sending you messages you've been missing. 3 specific skin changes correlate strongly with blood sugar problems. First, dark velvety patches in skin folds, at the back of the neck, in the armpits, in the groin. This is called acanthosis nigricans, caused by elevated insulin stimulating skin cell growth. A study in the Archives of Dermatology found it correctly predicted insulin resistance in over 90% of cases. Second, multiple skin tags appearing in clusters, strongly associated with the same insulin-driven cell proliferation. Third, dry, itchy skin on the lower legs and feet that doesn't respond to moisturizer, a sign that circulation is too compromised to properly nourish the skin from within. Daily habit: tonight, before bed, examine the back of your neck and your armpits. Count your skin tags. Look at your lower legs. You are not diagnosing yourself. You are paying attention, and if you see what we've described, get a fasting blood glucose test this week. It costs approximately $12 at any certified lab and is covered by Medicare for most people over 65. $12. That is what it costs to know. We've covered 9 signs, 9 ways your body may already be warning you, right now, today, before any formal diagnosis. The hardest conversations are with people who say, "I've had 6 of these signs for 2 years. I just thought it was aging." It's not aging. Now you know the difference. If this video helped you, share it with someone over 60 in your life. Subscribe for more science-backed health information every week. Take care of yourself. You deserve to.